and welcome to another Vlogmas video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. We're on Vlogmas day, I don't even know what day it is, but I'm filming this and I'm excited because it's my birthday bookish haul. So it's my birthday at the end of November, and I always receive quite a few little bookish bits, and I always like to include them as part of Vlogmas to show you some bookish gifts that I have recently received. We're gonna see, you'll see that the whole lot of it is in this New York Public Library book with these little ends on them. That's because David's sisters went to New York and bought me gifts from New York Public Library, which is so exciting. So if there's anything more I love than bookish bookish stuff and bookish clothes, it's stuff that I can't get my hands on and I've never seen before. So first of all is this lovely this bag, which is going to, once I've emptied it of all the books that are in here, become my library bag. Look at those end bits, they're just so lovely. So also from New York Public Library, from David's sisters, are these bookworm socks, which are adorable. They're like these, I think they're called tube socks. David's very into a tube sock. They look really, really thick and toasty, so I'm very much looking forward to wearing those and reading. And then they also got me this t-shirt, which I've tried on and fits lovely. And this says Shelf Love, which is very nice. And I love a black t-shirt with a bright print on it. So yeah, those are some bookish items from David's sisters. Thank you, David's sisters, very, very nice. I'll show you one more bookish item before we move on to the actual books, because these are from my friends Ryan and Amy, and they are the most adorable gloves that say bookworm. Aren't they amazing? Now, sadly, these are sold out. So this is a, these are from, I think it's called Black and Beach. I will link the website down below. And they make all sorts of different gloves with that say feminist on them. And these were a range that they bought out in collaboration with Elizabeth Day, and these now have sold out. But they are amazing. I love lilac anyway. Lilac and yellow, very nice. And yeah, they're perfect because I always need my fingers for phone and just undoing stuff. And they're perfect for me, absolutely perfect. I've just worn them. We've just got back from going to Bedgebury to look at the Christmas lights, and I've worn them the whole time. But yeah, they're gonna be, because they're sort of like wrist warmers as well, I could wear these whilst working and type and stuff. So yeah, I'm absolutely elated with those. So yeah, sadly these are sold out, but there's other lovely stuff on that website as well, so I will link the website down below. Right, then we're on to the actual book. So I'll show you two books that have already appeared in my TBR, and then we'll move on to the other stuff. So both of these were from David's parents. In fact, I'll show you all the books from David's parents first, but I'll show you the Christmassy ones first. The first one is Murder on the Christmas Express by Alexandra Benedict. And this sounds very much like Murder on the Orient Express, however, set at Christmas. In the early hours of Christmas Eve, the sleeper train to the Highlands is derailed, along with the festive plans of its travellers, but that is only the beginning of their problems. When the body of one of the passengers is discovered in the locked room of her cabin, all the evidence points to murder. With the train stuck in the snow in the middle of nowhere, it's up to former Met detective Roz Parker to find the killer before they strike again. But as the countdown to Christmas and their rescue begins, Roz discovers that there are many secrets on board the train and many passengers with motives for murder. Yeah, there we go. Looking forward to reading that. Really am. And then David's mum, just so thoughtful. I mentioned this in my December TBR, but this is Christmas with Maud Lewis. Now, Maud Lewis is a folk artist from Canada, and she paints sort of snow scenes and Christmas scenes, and I just love them. I only recently found out about her sort of in the last sort of 2-3 years, because the cats that she paints look like my old cat Minnie. Here isn't a cat that looks like my old cat Minnie, but it's sort of captured Minnie, but this is white and Minnie was black. And yeah, this is just a little book about her life and about what it's like for her. She sold Christmas cards and painted Christmas cards. She had severe arthritis. These are the cats that look like Minnie. Severe arthritis and yeah, rheumatoid arthritis. And yeah, I was so elated with it. It's just such a thoughtful, wonderful present. So I'm really looking forward to reading that as soon as possible. Then the other books she got me were ones that I'd asked for, and I'm very excited about. So the first one is The Closet by Theo van der Broek, and I heard about this because I saw Andrew Scott, having said he'd read it. Andrew Scott, you know, Hot Priest, my Prince, Hot Priest from, well, from amongst lots of stuff he's in, but hot priest in Fleabag, and I believe him to be friends with Teo. And this says, witty and original and incredibly touching. I love this book. That's what Andrew said. But it's a memoir told through clothes. Fashion has long changed Teo's life, from the blue princess dress he secretly coveted as a child to the 2 big Gucci loafers he wore to impress the first man he desired. Teo's memories have all been marked by fashion, tailored his formative moments. Delving back into the wardrobes of his past, the closet explores the ups and downs of Teo's adolescence, charting his growth from uncertainty to self-acceptance through the lens of the clothes and accessories that have shaped him. In this funny, intimate and relatable memoir, Teo vividly recounts honest stories of growing up, his relationships with families and friends, flamingo costumes and discovering his sexuality. The Closet is a book about the power of accepting yourselves, the importance of good friends and embracing our differences to follow our passions. So yeah, I love clothes and fashion and really associate a lot of memories with clothes and what I was wearing that night or what somebody else was wearing that night. So I think I'm gonna really very much enjoy this a lot. And the fact that Andrew Scott's enjoyed, when me and Andrew Scott meet up, we can just chat about that book, can't we? Next up, she got me Year of Wonder by Clemency Burton Hill, and this is a piece of classical music for every day of the year. Now, David and I have been getting quite into the old classical music since last year when we went on our honeymoon. Mini moon, I say honeymoon every time, mini moon. The place where we were staying had Classic FM playing, and because it was around Christmas, they had a lot of Christmassy songs on, a lot of Christmassy pieces of music. But since then, we haven't really stopped listening to Classic FM. It's been lovely. We particularly like the Saturday night show, which has songs from the movies on. It's hosted by Jonathan Ross, but we've really been enjoying listening to Classic FM a lot this year. And I'd really like to sort of educate myself and get to know who does what pieces of music and stuff like that. I thought this was a good place to start. So it gives you a different piece of music a day. So I'm actually filming this on the 30th of November because that's how Vlogmas works, guys. I have to film ahead for these videos. And the piece today is Misery by James Macmillan. This is a more modern piece of classical music. It says, on St Andrew's Day, music from a towering presence in British cultural life, the Ayrshire-born Sir James Macmillan. So it gives you the piece, you listen to it, and then you can read the blurb about it. And I just feel like it's a nice way to discover new pieces, or maybe put a name to pieces that I've heard on the radio and enjoyed. But yeah, I just thought this was quite a good place to start with classical music. If you're a classical music listener and you know of a good way to sort of like learn who you might like and stuff like that, I feel quite daunted by the whole thing, but I've really enjoyed what I've been listening to. Do let me know, but I thought this was maybe a good place to start. I believe she's got a few of these now. But yeah, looking forward to really delving into this next year. It's a lovely sort of thing to go through the year with. And then I've got Joyrider by Angela Scanlon. How gratitude can help you get the life you really want. I've grown very fond of Angela Scanlon this year. Angela Scanlon took part in Strictly this year. One of my presents from David was a string of pearls from Angela Scanlon's company Freckle. And I've also very much enjoyed her other TV programme, which I can't think what it, The House. It's like a renovation show where you get like a sort of they computer generate what your house could look like if you go along with one particular artiste or interior designer, and I very much enjoyed that. But this book really spoke to me, so I find her a very positive and wonderful person anyway. So it says, in the pursuit of happiness and well-being, Angela Scanlon has been there, done that, and bought the sustainable organic cotton t-shirt. She's tried the gong baths, the Reiki, pink pills, tinctures, homeopathy and the rest, but there was one thing she kept coming back to time and time again: gratitude. The practice of gratitude is not some fluffy new age nonsense. It's now one of the most widely recognised methods for improving your overall well-being. Joyrider is Angela's deeply personal ode to joy. Joyrider teaches us that by appreciating the small incremental positives in our life, our mindset can change for the better. Angela shares anecdotes from her personal journey as well as a fail-safe toolkit to help you find self-compassion, practice gratitude and stop people-pleasing so you can finally start living your best, most authentic life. I think that sounds like an absolutely brilliant book to start the year with, so I'm very much looking forward to reading that in January. And then the last book David's mum got me was one that I've just got out from the library, so we can go back to the library now. And this is Stolen by Anne Helen Lestadius. This is just about to be made into a Netflix film, and it is, I'll read you the blurb. 9-year-old Elsa lives just north of the Arctic Circle. She and her family are Sami, Scandinavia's indigenous people, and make their living herding reindeer. One morning, Elsa witnesses a brutal crime. She recognises the perpetrator but refuses to tell anyone, least of all the Swedish police force, about what she saw. A decade later, Elsa finds herself the target of the man she first encountered all those years before, and something inside of her finally breaks. The guilt, fear and anger she's been carrying since childhood came crashing over her like an avalanche and lead Elsa to a final catastrophic confrontation. Yeah, that sounds great too. It's hard not to want to read all these books now because I'm reading Christmas books. And then the last two are from my cousin Laura, and she bought me another memoir that I'm very excited about. So she bought me Hungry Heart, A Story of Food and Love by Claire Finney. Claire is an award-winning food writer, and in this book she delves into questions about as broad as from feast to comfort food, first dates to office cake. How does what we eat define us and the relationship we have with others? So she delves into these questions, telling a powerful story of life and love while uncovering the manifold ways in which food touches all relationships, from perfect strangers to lifelong partners. Honestly, these two memoirs are my perfect memoirs. A memoir told through food and a memoir told through clothes. Love. Beginning with a childhood spent in her grandmother's hotel kitchen and ending at her grandfather's bedside, Claire charts a course through the meals and recipes that have shaped the person she is today. Investigating the role food plays in an often isolated modern society and exploring how eating unites us in varied ways throughout our lives, Hungry Heart examines the power of food and drink to attract, bind and define us, as well as its ability to divide and repel. And it's got recipes throughout. I've just opened it here on Melanie's lovely lentils. I love recipes within books when they are being applied to something, and I assume by mentioning Melanie that we are hearing about Melanie beforehand. Yeah, because there's a accompanying essay that goes along with that. Dining across dietary divides. Yeah, I think I'm going to really love this, and I'm very excited to read it. Very excited. And then the last book of the Bookish book haul is Watercolor Workbook, a 30-minute beginner's botanical projects on premium watercolor paper. So you'll know last year my sister got me a watercolor set, and I've been sort of dabbling with it a bit this year. I've done a little bit of, I've done a few little like mountain scenes and stuff like that. But when I go online to know what to do, I sometimes find stuff is either really basic or really advanced. And the book that I got with the kit is very advanced. And I'd love to do more watercolours, because when I do it, I just love it. I pop on an audiobook or pop on Classic FM and just crack on with it. But this is an absolutely great thing, because one of the things I've come up against is mixing colours, which I'm not very good at. And this is a whole book about mixing colours and more about technique and stuff like that, and it has a whole few pages on how to mix colours and to get the colours you want. So for example, if you wanted this like yellow, so these are colours we have, and then it's got a whole page about mixing colours. So it'll tell you if you wanted to get burnt rose, you need 35% burnt sienna, 60% alizarin crimson and 5% ivory black. Yeah, and then it's also got techniques and how to paint these flowers, and the whole book, the whole second half of the book is on watercolor paper and is paint like a colouring book, but for watercolors. And it's all beautiful flowers with amazing sort of mixing techniques and stuff like that, and tells you how to go through it and do it all. So I really think it's going to help me a lot with this, and I just thought that's such a bloody lovely, look at that one. So look, here we've got what it's going to look like, the colour palette you'll need, and then the talk through, and then here it is in the lines. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I can't wait to get going with it. That's something I'm really going to sit and enjoy. So there we go. My bookish gifts that I received for my birthday. What a lucky girl I am. Yeah, absolutely delighted with them all. Gonna pop them on the old shelf. Pop this ready to take my library books back. And yeah, I'll see you all again soon. Tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. Goodbye.